Well, my friends, this is Jay, and I am back. I am back because I wanted to close out the summer with something new and something, I don't know, fun, and just a big surprise, a nice surprise. So, let me just share with you what I came up with. As you know, I am working on, here at Jay's Knit and Purl Jam, my faux swag sweater collection. And these sweaters, they're not full sweaters, they're faux sweaters. It's really the back and a beautiful faux tie and a swag in the back. Okay, but they're worked bottom up. And I thought, you know what, I do have a lot of my friends that just love top down. What can I do to keep up with my faux swag sweater, but add something top down with a Raglan increased line? And this is it. This is Jay's Raglan Boho collection. And it is simply just what it says. It has the Raglan increase, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I'm just going to just kind of come down. I can put any kind of design that I want. It starts with an I cord. That's the main thing. It's an I cord construction, like I did last summer, and I never got back to that particular project, that little pretty lacy one. I'll show it to you in just a minute or so. But there it is. I'm going to pull way back so that you can see it. Isn't that pretty? I just love the I-cord neckline for this particular style. Now let me kind of go around a little bit to the side so that you can see it. Then I'm going to turn to the back. See that pretty design? That is the chart we're going to work today. It's going to have to be in two parts, because I want you to do the chart, and then you're going to have to, for homework, do your I-cord. But I made a little Jay's quick tip for those who can remember how we did it. Oh, that's the leg of the thing. Okay. Now let me just kind of, let's see if I can flip it around without turning the camera. That saves a lot of time if I don't have to turn it. Okay. Oh, I think so. Oh, look at that. It has a beautiful stitch motif in the center back neck right there. Can you see the Raglan line increase? It's so pretty. But I've even changed it, even since I made this one. The second one, I've upgraded. Gave it a little more. And then, of course, what makes it the boho, look at the fringe. Look at the fringe. All along the back, the sides, the front. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to come way back so that you can see it. What do you think of that? It's a Raglan boho. I-cord shawl, because I want to make sure I let you know that the whole thing started with an I-cord when I came up with the idea. And I thought, oh, now I know you can do your projects and then you can knit on the I-cord, but that just wasn't going to work for me. I just thought, oh no. And then I thought, well, why don't you just make a regular I-cord, Jay, and just pick up stitches? You know how to do that. And a lot of people, it's really easy for some people to just pick up the stitches. And I'm telling you, that became a game changer for me. There it is again. Now I'm going to turn it. Okay, in fact, let me stop right here, and I'm going to come back and show you the original one, just to remind you of where it came from. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, so do you remember this one we did about a year ago? This was the first one that I did. I made the I-cord. It didn't have, well, it had the raglan in the back, just like this one. But I didn't really I didn't even pounce on it. I wasn't even thinking what a nice top-down project for those that still like top-down things. But it is a raglan. I'll turn it around in just a minute, but you can see the beautiful I-cord neckline. But now this one had that pretty lace. Let's see, can I go on this side? Had the pretty lace. Can you see it? Now let me turn this one over. This is where I got the second version, and I said I was going to do one, and then look, Jay went on to something else. Hold on. Jay went on to something else. I forgot all about it. And then there's the pretty raglan with the lace on the sides peeking over the back. See, can I get it straight? Okay, there it is. So you see, you can never have too many what if. What if? What if we made them longer? What if we made them different? What if? So what if can be your friend. So I just want to let you know how much I enjoy sharing this, and I hope, now I'm going to take this one down, lay it over to the side, do a quick costume change, and this is the one we will be working next, in the next part 2 of the tutorial. We're just going to work on it from the chart on this one. Well, I hope you enjoy it, and you can go ahead and start looking through your stash. It's still hot here, so even though we're pivoting into fall, and I picked kind of fall looking colors, you know, but not real dark yet, not too heavy. So think of that. Maybe a light medium weight color and weight of yarn for this as we pivot into fall for our first Jay's Raglan Boho shawl with the I-cord. Love this. Don't you love the fringe? And that's just scrap. That was just some scrap yarn, people. All right. I hope I've given you enough to encourage you to work this chart. And then the next video, then I will have part 2. Give me a few days and to film. You see, the project's done. I just need a few days to film, and because I got to do it in parts, and you know, and then I will come back and we will get started on the project 2. This is Jay and Bird. Say hey, Bird. Look at the camera. This is Jay and Bird saying happy knitting until we see you again. Bye-bye. All right, my friends, so you've seen the intro pictures of my new Raglan Boho shawl. In fact, it's going to be in a series of them, and I can't wait to, like I said, to share some of the ones I've already made up with you. But before we can get started, now you were supposed to go over, or I want you to go over and take a look. If you're new, there's a little video that I did last week called Jay's Quick Tips, and it simply shows you how I go over the I-cord, how to make this beautiful I-cord neckline, because we're going to use that to pick up stitches to make our beautiful top-down Raglan Boho shawl. So go over that. Of course, if you're seasoned like me, you already know, and I'll give you more information at the end of this part 1 of this video. So the first thing, though, I want to go ahead and get started, because it's going to take a little time, is to see our chart. I like to separate the charts to give you plenty of time to practice and, you know, just get familiar so you won't have any any worries about the chart. And I'm going to bring it a little closer. Of course, I've taken pictures of this, but here is the chart. Now, there's a lot on here. It may look kind of scary, but it's not. It's simple as the ones we've worked before. And we only have to worry about this one center stitch right here to make sure that we purl it on the right side and knit it on the wrong side. All the other symbols we have worked over and over. Now I have it highlighted right here just so that you can make sure your eyes stay on the chart and not kind of wander somewhere. But we're only going to do one repeat, just like I shared with you in the intro when I showed the shawl. But we're going to put it on each front and one in the center back. And if you, like I said, if you prefer not to do the center back, if you're new and says, oh, Jay, I don't know if I can do that many, then just the two in the front will be perfect. Or you just decide how you want to. All right, so first thing we need to do is just kind of, like I said, I'm going to just hold this chart up so that you'll have a good screenshot of it. And we're going to just get right into it. Instead of doing a lot of pre-talking, I want to get right into working this chart. So again, you saw the beautiful stitch. Sure, I have that so I can see mine when I get ready. Yeah, you saw the beautiful stitch. But now here's my little swatch. The swatch, all you have to do is cast on 39 stitches, knit 2 rows, and have you some markers out. In fact, after you knit your 2 rows, I like to go ahead and maybe knit 1 row so that I'm putting in my border markers and purl back. After you knit 2 rows, then the next row you knit across, then purl back. Now we're on the right side again. It just gives you a little room down here at the bottom so you can see what you're doing. Does that make sense? There is the beautiful. And the song, the music had fireflies, and I thought, you know what, that could, if you kind of shut your eyes, that could be like a firefly. That's what I thought. So we'll just call this our firefly stitch. That's a tongue twister in it. I don't know why I can't talk today. I guess because I'm so, it's still hot here, so it's still a little hard to kind of get into fall, but we're going to get there. But I want to get this up first. Are you ready? Are you ready? Do you have some practice yarn? All right, like I said, cast on 39 stitches and knit 2 rows and then knit 1 and purl back. Now we're ready, and we're going to go ahead and start with row number 1 because I'm ready to go. Like I said, it's not hard. You just have to pay attention, or don't do it when you're tired. Take that as a tip, another tip from Jay. Okay, so on my swatch, I have 4 stitches for a border, so you'd put a marker. You down here at the bottom, 4 stitches for a border. Then I have 5 just fill-in stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a marker there. Okay. Then I'm going to count over 21 stitches. That's the chart. 21 stitches. So I simply count over and put another marker on this little swatch. And then the 5 stitches to match these 5 stitches over here. And then, of course, your 4-stitch border, you put a mark to represent this edge. And that's how you'll have it set up for row 1. All right, let's go. As you can see, from the close-up, instead of me going over every line, I'm just going to go ahead and knit and try to do it real plain and clear and take my time instead of just talking about it. So row 1, the first thing you see that I have marked. I like to go ahead, though, and always mark empty boxes so that I don't have to stop and count every time or forget where I am and keep going back and making mistakes. So the first row 1, after, let's go ahead and do our border first, though. I got ahead of myself. Okay, so I knit my 4-stitch border. We knit on every row. And then I had 5 filler stitches or extra stitches right there. That's just to keep the chart from running into the border. Gives yourself a little space. So I just knit those 5. We're on the right side, so I just knit 5. Just like this. Alright, so let me see how close I am before I go any further, because I really see if I need to come closer on the camera. Just a little bit. I think that's, in fact, I think I can go down just a bit. Tilt it. Okay. Because you're looking at your chart and I'm looking at mine. Okay, so I do that filler stitches. Now you have a marker there that starts the chart. I try to use the same color so I'll know where the chart is, the 21 stitches. Row 1, let's go. It says knit 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Knit 6, all right. Symbols leaning to the right, we're going to knit 2 stitches together. We're at row 1. All right, then I yarn over, then 2 blank boxes on the front of the work, I knit. So I knit 2. 1, 2, stop. Okay, now this is the center stitch. And I'm going to show you something. The center stitch, I had a little boo-boo right here, so I got to fix it real quick. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with row number 1. And as usual, I'm just going to knit this right along with you because it is a beautiful stitch to work. As always, on my charts, again, an empty box represents a knit stitch on the right side, a purl stitch on the wrong side. And I don't know if I noted it before, but the only stitch we have to really worry about is this center stitch where we're going to purl on the front but knit on the back. So, and then I've already pre-counted all of my empty boxes just to save time. Now on the swatch we have a 4-stitch border, just like I called out. Then there's 5 stitches to separate the chart from the border. So we're going to knit after the border. We're going to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're down at the bottom. You're placing markers as we go, I guess. See there? There's my marker. There's those extra stitches. Now, I put a matching mark on each side that I'm on that will represent the chart. All right, let's go. Row 1 on the chart. Empty boxes. Knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Symbol leaning to the right, we will knit 2 stitches together. So I'm going to just knit 2 stitches together. All right, then yarn over, knit 2, 1, 2. Now there's that center stitch that runs all the way up. On the front, my little dash represents a purl, so I need to bring the yarn to the front, and I'm going to purl that stitch, just like that. Then I need to put the yarn to the back again now because I'm on this side of the center, and it says knit 2, 1, 2, yarn over. Symbols leaning to the left, we're going to simply slip, slip, reach back and knit. So far. All right, and then to knit off the chart to go all the way across, I knit 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you'll put a marker because once we slide the marker, we have those 5 little extra stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes I always count just to make sure. Okay. Yes, I know everybody's excited about fall, but it's still hot here. So that's why I wanted to put in this little simple. It's kind of in between. It's past summer, but it's not fall quite yet. But we're getting there. Okay, I knit my 4-stitch border, and guess what? You're at the bottom, but you have just worked row 1. Now I'm going to turn so I can show you just the wrong side, and then you'll be able to follow me from there. Alright, that I just finished row 1, so I'm going to move my little marker up. Alright, on the wrong side, of course, okay, we're going to knit the knits and purl the purls. In other words, work the stitches as they appear. And we really only have that one little stitch in the center that will throw you off. So on the wrong side, I'm going to knit my border, which I knit on every row. Alright, then I bring the yarn in front, and I'm just going to slide that marker, and I'm going to purl all the way till I get towards the center, and then I'm going to slow down, and then I'm going to show you what to do, how to make sure you don't forget or miss it. So there's those 5 stitches. Slide the marker. Now I'm in the chart. Alright, I'm just going to continue to purl across, but I'm keeping my eye on looking for that 1 stitch in the center. And as I come up, I just keep purling, and then I see, okay, yarn over there, I purl that. Then I look. Now you're down here, and I want to show you this. Alright, you're down here at the bottom, and it's going to be easy to just kind of forget or recognize where that stitch is. So as soon as we get to it, I'm going to tell you to get a marker, something nice and bright. And we're going to mark the stitch down here. You see it right there. You're going to mark that stitch. So every time you come to it, you will see this row of knitted stitches as you see on my sample, because I've made a sample ahead of you. You can see how it goes all the way up, but it's so easy to miss it or just to go ahead and purl. So now this is what you're down here, but you're purling over, but you got your eye on it, and you go, okay, Jay, I do see that purl. I do see that stitch. On the front is a purl. There it is right there. But on this wrong side, it's going to be a knit. But I'm going to mark it. I'm going to help myself. There we go. Now, I promise you, you won't miss it or forget it. But remember to put the yarn in the back, because we want to knit on this wrong side. So I knit that stitch that's in the center, bring the yarn back to the front, and now we're just going to continue to purl off until we come to our border. So we would just purl. I may as well go ahead and do this, and then I'm not going to have, hopefully I don't, well, as we get up higher on the chart, I will come back to make sure. You see? Just purling across on the wrong side. Whew, it's hot today. Okay, now when I get to my border marker, I try to make my markers match on each side so I'll know exactly what section I'm in. Okay, I'm just going to put the yarn in back, and I'm going to knit the last 4 stitches. Alright. Now, I want you to catch up, and first of all, let's turn to the front. See if you see the purl stitch right there in the center. Like I said, you're down here, but you're going to have that marked, but you will start to see it. Alright, I want you to catch up, relax a little bit. You can see I'm a little hyper today. It's hot, and I wanted to get this up for you because I was so excited when I found the stitch and gave it a try. Alright, I will see you back in just a moment at row 3. Alright, I am back. Hope you're ready to go. We are on row 3 on this beautiful, I guess we can call it a boho stitch, since it's going to be my first one. We'll have our little firefly boho stitch. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my little border. And then we had the 5 extra stitches, and then from now on I can be at the chart and I have to do that every time. Okay, so I knit the 5 extra stitches. Alright, row 3, there's my marker. Alright, I've got it pre-counted, so all I have to do is knit 5. I'm just going to knit from my chart and you're knitting from yours. 1, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's my 5 little stitches from my chart, pre-counted. Alright, then I knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 stitches together again. We're up to the center stitch. Alright, on the front we're going to purl, so I bring the yarn in front. You can see the purl bump there, so I purl it. Then I be sure to take the yarn back to the back. Now on the other side of the center we're going to slip, slip, knit, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit again as we get near the end of the chart, and I pre-counted, so it should have 5 stitches. 2, 4, 5. Knit the 5 stitches, just like that. Alright, slide your marker for the extra 5 stitches here, knit across, and of course you have your 4 stitch border right there. Knit that. You will turn the work the wrong side. Now you have that center stitch marked. You turn the work. First thing your eye's going to notice is if you get something bright like this, see, it's bright, bright. You're going to notice as you're purling across, oh, I'm coming up to it, I got to look for it. And then once you start getting a long row of the knit stitch, it becomes easier to find, but make sure you keep it. And sometimes eventually, as we're working stuff, you can get an extra marker and move up, move the marker up if you like. Alright, so now you work the wrong side. I will see you back at row 5. I'm trying to get up to these stitches, the ones that really we're going to need a little help on. Alright, back in just a moment. Alright, so we're here at row 5. I'll just get on over to the chart just to save a little time and slide my marker. Alright, row 5. We have knit 4. I'm going to speak up because someone decides to do their alarm. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, then we're going to knit 2 stitches together because they're leaning to the right. We're on row 5. I knit 2 together. Then there's a yarn over, knit 2, 1, 2. Then there's another yarn over, and then I have knit 2 together again. Stop. I'm looking for the center stitch. Can you see it? I see the purl bump. I can look on the back and see my little marker. So be sure to bring the yarn to the front, purl that 1 stitch, then put the yarn in the back and continue across row 5 with a slip, 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 knit, yarn over, then there's knit 2, 1, 2, yarn over, and then I have another slip, slip, knit. Then to knit off the row 5, I just need to knit 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. The last 4 stitches in the box. Just like that. Okay. And of course those extra 5 and your border stitches. Just so you just have to be so careful when rows just pretty much repeat themselves that you're not on the right row. If you have to take, if you have to get up and leave something or whatever, make sure you put some kind of mark on it. Oh. And if you do lose your place a little bit, you can always look here on this little edge and you can count where we had 6, 5, 4. So I just finished row 5, and once I do the wrong side, I know that I should be on row 7. Now this is what I'm going to do just to save time, because I'm trying to get up to these other rows. I'm going to let you, of course, work the wrong side of row 5. Now everyone, everywhere, I'm going to bring this on up a little bit. Hey, Bird. There's Bird. All right, I want you to work on your own row 7, of course the wrong side too, row 9 and 11. Take your time. It's easy to follow because it's just what we have been doing all along. I will see you at row 13, where we're going to take our time and go across row 13 together. All right. Have fun. Be back in just a little bit. All right, I am back. I hope you enjoyed your little time to knit. A lot of times, you can knit if you either, if I'm not knitting or talking, or just put me on mute, that if that will help. That's how I do when I'm watching people from Europe when they knit. And as long as I'm watching their hands and what position the yarn is in, most of the time I can figure out what the stitch is. Of course, they do them a lot different. One thing I noticed is people in Europe somewhere, and not speaking English, they do not use stitch markers. Now some do, but a lot of them do not. A lot of the what you call master teachers, or people that have a lot of stitch tutorials, they do not use stitch markers. So you have to really watch. Like I say, I can put them on mute sometimes and make sure that I watch their hands, if the yarn's in back or whether the yarn's in front, or what, It's a lot of fun. All right, but on this one, I'm knitting it with you to encourage you to build your skills and to build mine. We are up to row 13 now. You're looking at your paper because it may be hard to see mine, and I'm working off of my chart. Row 13, I'm over to the chart. Okay, let's go, but we're going to take it slow. We're going to knit 1, yarn over. Oh, all of a sudden, the first symbol, it leans to the left. So I'm going to slip, slip, knit. See it right there. Slip, slip, knit. All right, then yarn over, knit 1. Now that brings us to a double decrease. I just use the very simplest form that I can remember and keep track of. I slip 2 and knit 1, then reach back and pass the 2 I slipped over. So the double decrease is, after that knit 1, you slip 2, knit 1, reach back, and I bring that one. I just do mine one at a time. You can do them, I guess, 2 at a time. I don't know. All right, now on this side of the double decrease, there is a knit 1, yarn over. Now the symbol leans to the right, so I'm going to knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over, stop. Now, when I yarn over to stop, that should bring me to my center stitch where we're going to purl. So I'm already in the yarn over position right here, but I need to make a purl stitch on the front. So that means I come around, yarn over, now bring the yarn to the front so that I can purl that stitch. Stop. The next stitch after the center purl stitch, if you look on this side, is a yarn over. You're looking at your chart now so you can see it close. Yarn over, okay, but look, once I purl that stitch, I'm in the yarn over position already. So I just go and look at the next stitch. It says slip slip, and then you stick your needle in. Now take that yarn and yarn over the slip stitch. Now yarn over. We're right here. Now we yarn over, and the next stitch is a knit 1. Then we're up to the next double decrease, that little symbol, the TP. We slip 2, knit 1, reach back, and bring those 2 over and off, the ones we slipped. Then right after the center decrease, it's a knit 1, yarn over, then a symbol leaning to the, then a symbol, let's see, yarn over, then a symbol leading to the right, so I knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and then I did not have a last stitch. So let's troubleshoot. I was over there watching television. Probably okay, I'm going to go back up to my center stitch because I know that little center stitch and I got it marked over here. So, all right, let's go and see. I'm going to look again, see what I missed or what I left off from the previous row. All right, so first of all, I'm going to check my row. There's a yarn over, there's a slip knit, a yarn over, knit 1, the double decrease, knit 1, yarn over. So on the bottom row, the row before it, I left off, I probably missed a yarn over when I purled back. So I'm just going to, sometimes you just have to troubleshoot. Nothing wrong with that. So here's the yarn. Here's where I was yarning over. And then I'm going to reach down and grab that yarn over that I missed. Right there. Pop it on there. Okay, yarn over. Now, knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over and knit 1. And when you spread it out, it should match. This side should match that one. Of course, you can always count your stitches too. Alright. It's nothing like having to do a little true confession right on camera, is it? So now I'm just going to knit off this row. Take a breath. But that's good because sometimes you need to show, people, okay, well, what do I do? It's usually always a yarn over on the row, the previous row. Usually you just, when you were purling back, doing the purl stitch, somewhere it slipped off or whatever. Alright. Now, that was row 13, and when we turn the work, of course it'll be on the wrong side. I'm going to work the wrong side row, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to work row 15. These are the 2 rows that I wanted to work with you for that very reason, because there were so many. Another thing you can do, you can always count your yarn overs before you even start. That's what I should have done. Let's see how many yarn overs we should have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That way you could count them as you're doing them. On row 11, I was over there watching TV. Remember, I was doing this off camera. But I only had 1, 2, 3, 4. So I didn't realize it had slipped off, I guess. But on this one, with so many, you count ahead. All right, so I will see you back at row 15, and before we start, we're going to count the yarn overs. All right, I'm going to work the back, and I'll be right back in just a moment. All right, so, had to take a little break. All right. So now we are on row 15. These are the 2 rows that I was trying to really help you get through. But I'm kind of glad that happened, so that if that happened to you, you'll know exactly. And it taught me to remember the little trick of counting your yarn overs. Anytime you have a row with a lot of yarn overs, make sure you can count the row below. Make sure that, but we're going to count So I go up to row 15. Before I even work it, I'm going to count and see so that I can work each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again. And I can look right here on my sample now. And I can count from the row below. I had row 13, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when I fixed it, when I picked up that yarn over, I dropped, and use this on the purl side that you drop them. They will slip off. They'll slip off or just go crazy. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have the right number. So I counted my stitches. I have 21 stitches. So let's see if we can give row 15 a try. Oh God. Oh. Oh Lord, help me. Okay. Here we go. And I wasn't ready because I was I thought, oh Lord, I'm working on limited time here to get this video ready. I don't know why I wait to the last minute to do some things. All right, row 15. Oops, now I got to get my 5. I'm having a great time today. How about you? It's so good that you're here, that you're knitting with me. Oh, we had my mother-in-law had her birthday at the nursing home. Remember last year I told you she was 101. Wasn't that right? Yeah. So this year, of course, she's 102. They had her half big, so she looked better than I. She looked better than I did. They had her dressed up so cute, and I took a little crochet. One might know it was a little knitted, like a little knitted neck warmer with a little lace. And so we had a lot of pictures taken and laughing, and we had a little snack and cake and stuff. Yeah, she knew what was going on. She kept thinking she was 202. She kept saying, they said, Granny, how old are you? I'm 202. We said, no, that's a far stretch, Granny. But she made it to 102 last year. Remember we had the little party? Okay. All right, so now I'm up. Thought I'd break the... so we can laugh a minute so we can get on with this. All right, row 15, knit 2. That's what I'm starting with. Here comes that first yarn over. All right, yarn over. Then I slip, knit. Then I yarn over again. Now I'm up at the double decrease. I'm going to slip 2 stitches, knit 1. Now I'm going to reach back and pass the 2 I slipped over and off. Make sure, take your time. Then there's a yarn over right after that decrease. The next symbol leans to the right here. So that means I'm going to knit 2 together. Then I'm going to yarn over. Then there is a knit 1, stop. After that knit 1, that should bring me right up to my center stitch, which I want to bring the yarn in front. Purl, see there's a purl bump right there. I purl that stitch. Now stop and put that yarn in the back. Alright, because the next stitch is a knit 1. Then I yarn over again. Okay, the next stitch is a slip, knit. Slip, knit, row 15. Then another yarn over. I'm at the double decrease again, and I can see where it belongs because it lines up with the one right below it, see? So slip 2, knit 1. Remember, it takes 3 stitches. Now reach back and pop each one of those over and off. Yarn over. Now I'm going to knit 2 stitches together. It leans to the right. Yarn over. Voila! Knit 2 at the very end of row 15. And then I can just knit off my little extra stitches and my border too. I know those lights flickering people. I'm gonna change my setup to fall. I didn't have a backbone to do all that today. I guess I just won't use them. I guess this will be blinking lights. But when I'm sitting here knitting, they're not really blinking. But on the camera, they blink. I don't know. All right, there is row 15. Voila, look at all those yarn overs. So that means on the wrong side, row 16, you've got to be extra careful taking all those yarn overs off. Just slow it down. And then there's nothing left but the two easiest rows you have, row 17 and row 19. Easy peasy, and you're done. I wanted to show you this just so that you could see what I did. For this swatch, I repeated the whole swatch, this whole chart. This is what you get once you do the last two rows, 17, 18, 19, and the wrong side 20. Okay, you get this beautiful stitch. Now this stitch is part of another larger stitch combo, but I only took this part. So a lot of you recognize it. Most knitters wouldn't know. I don't know a name for it, but you see it all the time. But there's another section at the top. Well, I wasn't ready for all that. So I took this portion for my project that we're going to work. Okay, then just to make some room and not to start right over, once I finished the last row, that last purl row up here, then I simply knit. I knit across, purl back, knit across, purl back, knit across, purl back, and then I started down here at row 1 again. I brought the little marker down and put it at row 1 and started all over again. I just wanted you to, that if you do more than one, you have to make that little section or put some extra stitches. Otherwise, it was just going to come real close, and I thought it would confuse me. So I just did some extra stitches in between, and so now I have two beautiful, I don't know, maybe they could be fireflies. But they're really leaves. I think they're in the leaf group. Well, all right, let me see. All right, so here's this pretty chart. I'm going to sit that back and pull that. Let me just kind of talk a minute. All right, so here's a pretty chart, and like I said, we're going to do this beautiful little, I hope you enjoyed this little raglan. Like I said, I just wanted to have something top down to offer too, besides my faux swag sweaters. So for homework, you are to do an I-cord, because this style, this top down Raglan boho designs that I will be making will always start with an I-cord. So I put in, like I say, a little quick I-cord tutorial, and if you need some help. But you will start working on your I-cord. That's what I need you to do. After you finish practicing your stitches here. Now, to measure for the I-cord, I need you to take your I-cord, start it, and work from one, say the bottom of your stomach, under your belly button, under the bottom of the stomach. I want you to make that I-cord so long that it goes up and goes around your neck and comes back down to the same place on this side of the body. So don't start right at the belly button. Start below. I'd say just right below your stomach. And it's better to have this long I-cord, because we're going to pick up all these stitches, and you saw how pretty the neck just hugs and looks so pretty. So the homework is to make your I-cord, and then you can rubber band the needles or everything together, and just wait for me there, because once I come back, you're going to need a nice long, whatever size needle you're using. I work with number 8s and number 9s. If I didn't say that, most of you know that. So it's just whichever of those two you prefer or fits better on your body. 8 will give you a tighter fabric. 9 will give you just a hint of ease. And but you're going to need a nice long circular needle, at least if you got a 36 or 48, something like that. You're going to need a nice long one, and you may have to have an even longer one after that, but at least to get started for us to pick up the stitches. I will have my formula ready, and we will simply go over the formula. You'll have your I-cord ready, and we will pick up stitches, and then I will show you the placement, how to figure out where we're going to put our design, because you're going to practice this stitch so that you feel comfortable working it. And then you tell me what you think about Jay's Boho. Well, it's the Jay's Raglan Boho shawl. Well, let me see. Do I have a last thought? Not really, because I'm excited, and I just hope you're excited too. I'm glad you joined me. I'm glad that we could get together today. It's a beautiful day here in North Georgia, and but the leaves are beginning to fall. So I'm doing this whole series of boho. Wait till you see the different ones I have and the names. I've already got some planned out. Oh my gosh. So I'm saying all this just to get you excited. So this will end part 1. Part 2, when I come back, you will be ready to go. We will be ready to look at the formula and pick up stitches off our I-cord for this Raglan Boho shawl. All right, keep knitting, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.